One of the most enduring symbols of ancient Egypt and Greece, the Sphinx is a mythical creature that has intrigued and inspired human imagination for thousands of years. But what exactly does the Sphinx represent, and is it good or evil? The origins of the Sphinx go as far back as the oldest Egyptian myths. Egyptologists believe that the Sphinx is around 4,500 years old. These original sphinxes had the body of a lion and the head of a human or an animal, such as a ram. However, sphinxes with male human heads were the most common. Sometimes these sphinxes had wings. Pharaohs would have their faces depicted in place of the heads of these guardian statues for their own tombs. Because of this, many famous sphinx statues that have been uncovered look like old Egyptian pharaohs. Sphinxes were worshipped as guardians, and their statues were placed at the entrances of tombs, temples, and royal palaces. The most famous Sphinx monument is, of course, the Great Sphinx of Giza. To this day, beloved as a national treasure by modern-day Egyptians, this giant statue on the Nile River bears the face of the pharaoh Khafre. Located to the southeast of the equally famous pyramids of Giza, the Great Sphinx was likely built to protect these great tombs, much like any other Egyptian sphinx. While the Egyptian Sphinx is the most well-known, the Greeks also had their own version. In fact, the word Sphinx comes from the Greek word sphingo, which means to strangle. Completely different to the Egyptian Sphinx, the Greek Sphinx had the head of a woman, the body of a lion, and the wings of a falcon. It was smaller in size and is shown seated on its hind legs, not crouching like the Egyptian version. The Greek Sphinx is similar to other Greek monsters, like the Chimera or the Gorgons. In all these stories, the malevolent female monster is outwitted and killed by the male hero. The Greek Sphinx was nasty in nature and lived to terrorize travelers. According to the myth, the Sphinx would ask travelers the famous riddle: which animal walks on 4 feet in the morning, on 2 feet at noon, and 3 in the evening? If the passerby couldn't answer the riddle, the Sphinx would strangle and then devour them. If it could answer correctly, then the Sphinx would allow safe passage. It was Oedipus who was able to finally answer the riddle. The answer is man, who crawls on all fours as a baby, walks on 2 feet as an adult, and then uses a walking stick in old age. The Sphinx, realizing that she was defeated, threw herself off her high rock and died. There are many differences between the Egyptian and the Greek Sphinxes, a natural result of interpretation and context. The Egyptian Sphinx was typically male, a benevolent protector, often had no wings, and guarded tombs, whereas the Greek Sphinx was always female, malevolent in nature, had a feline body with wings, and was widely feared. The image of the Sphinx today symbolizes protection, wisdom, and strength. The body of the lion represents strength, while the head of a human symbolizes intelligence. Some scholars view this combination as a symbol of strength, dominance, and wisdom. The Sphinx also evokes enigma and mystery. The very image of a Sphinx standing guard at a tomb or asking travelers a riddle with no apparent objective is mysterious. Why did the Sphinx ask a riddle? Why did the Sphinx kill herself when Oedipus answered the riddle? Why is it part human, part animal? These questions and more enhance the mystery of the Sphinx, making it a symbol of the enigmatic. The very word Sphinx has entered our lexicon as a synonym for the inscrutable, the mysterious, and the enigmatic. Want to know more about Egyptian mythology? Check out our video on Wadjet, the serpent goddess, over here, and 20 Egyptian inventions we still use today over here.